certainly be weather aware and look to stay in a safe place.
Yes, definitely north of Interstate 20, northwest of Abilene up towards Anson, Hawley under the gun. We just got live on Facebook. That's what I was doing up in the newsroom. So if you're joining us on Facebook Live, we've been tracking this tornado warning. It's now in effect until 10 p.m. Let's take you over to the radar, show you exactly where the main concern is right now. So good news, in the velocity signature has come down a little bit. I'll show you that in just a second. The new warning box, this continues to show the old warning boxes here, but this was originally all the way towards northwest Abilene here. This is now was pushed back a little bit along Route 277, and now the newest warning here is this smaller one. So it continues to cut off the south side here. So Abilene, this is going to come northwest of you. Confidence is increasing that this will stay off to your northwest. So that's some good news if you are in Abilene, but still Hawley up towards Anson and Stith. This is the main area of concern right now, and this is pushing northeastward. So Nugent, you also have to be weather aware as well in watching this storm. So Jones County here, south central Jones County is where this is currently under the gun. Velocity signatures, we talked about this really over the last 30 minutes. It has come down. You don't see those red and greens when they're really tight together like that. That's where you see that strong rotation, a possible tornado ongoing. We're not seeing that. So nothing has been confirmed. I've not seen any reports of a confirmed tornado. So that's some good news, but this storm is capable of producing a tornado. So you want to take that tornado precaution just to be on the safe side. You don't want to not take it and it be a tornado. So a tornado can develop at any moment here, even though we don't see a super strong rotation right now. So it's looking like right in here would be where that tornado would be. So northeast of Stitz, south of Truby. This is headed right towards Hawley. So if you're in Hawley, make sure you're in an interior room away from windows. Put as much walls as between you and the outside. We keep stressing the same thing over and over again, but that's what you have to do. So take your tornado precautions in Hawley, especially northwest of Abilene here. So if you're on the roads, if you're in Abilene, don't leave. If you don't, definitely don't leave. Don't head to the north, especially. So north of Abilene, right along Route 277 here, between Anson and Abilene, that is the area you want to avoid. This road right here that moves right through Hawley. The tornado, if we have one right now, would be right here. This is coming northeastward right towards Hawley. So not seeing, we just got a new scan here. Good news, it has not strengthened any. We're not seeing any tight rotation with this storm. So that is telling us that it is likely not on the ground at the moment, but that does not mean that we cannot have a tornado. This storm has a history of producing tornadoes. There was reports further off to the west of some funnel clouds, but it is not confirmed. Hail core, good news to pass along, has pretty much completely diminished with this south. So we saw that just to the south of Noodle. It had golf ball size hail further off to the west towards Sweetwater. That has weakened. So the overall trend with this storm is weakening. We're losing some of that instability, that low-level jets, what we've been talking about with Tim over the past 30 minutes. We're losing some of that. So that is good news. So right now, it looks like this storm is on a weakening trend, although the tornado warning is still in effect until 10 p.m. So you still got to be on the lookout and in your tornado safety area right now in Hawley. So if you're in Hawley, make sure to be in an interior room away from windows. It's much walls in between you and the outside as possible. So it's in a weakening trend, but still a very strong storm, tornado warned storm in effect until 10 p.m. And then it just continues. If this does not completely weaken, this will be extended further northeast. So looters, we had a strong storm move on through your town. That's not the main threat with this storm. Where the rotation is back here. So if you're further off to the northeast, you're already dealing with some of that hail, small hail reported in this, quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. The tornado threat, though, is with this particular cell down here in central Jones County. So the only tornado warning at the moment, but we're going to continue to track it. So Tim, like I said, we've been talking about it really the past 15 minutes, not seeing that tight rotation. So that's some good news. We have not seen any confirmed reports of a tornado, but you have to be better safe than sorry. You have to be taking those precautions.
Yeah, it's certainly a situation where you don't want to not take it seriously, and then of course be caught in the middle of it. Joe, Rebecca from Holly is asking. They can obviously see the warning and see the color here on your screen. They're receiving that same warning. The National Weather Service sends that out. This isn't something that us and other stations here see. It's all one notification. They are getting that same warning. How serious and what precautions should Holly take? Rebecca and Holly, that is, over the next 45 minutes.
Well, Holly, you need to be in your tornado precaution area right now. So interior room, away from windows, protect yourself, cover your head if you can. It is not a confirmed tornado headed towards you, but where that rotation is going to come right over Holly over the next 10 minutes. So it's going to be moving quickly. Once it passes Holly, we'll give you the all clear here, but it is moving into Holly right now. Really over the next 10 to 15 minutes, you want to be in that tornado precaution area, taking your tornado precautions. It's the rotation part of the storm is headed into Holly. Does not mean there is an actual tornado, though, headed towards you. You just have to be better safe than sorry.
There, Angela and Merkel also now. Merkel right on that I-20 line. Looks like things have slowly shifted to the northwest of Merkel. Seems to be like they were okay at the moment.
Yeah, let's jump over to radar real quick to show you exactly what we talked about. So Merkel is just off to the south here. So Abilene's right here. Merkel is down here. It is northeast of you. So Merkel, you're all clear. This storm is away from you and moving out of your area. We're talking about Holly. Let me just go back real quick to show you that velocity signature. It's weak here. We're not seeing that tight rotation where it would suggest there is a tornado right now. We're not seeing that, so that is good news. But if there was, where the rotation is right here, and this continues to push this way, so it's headed towards Holly. It's weaker though, which is likely. It's likely that there is not a tornado right now, but does not mean one can't drop. So be on the lookout over the next 15 minutes. So that's where the rotation is right now. And we're continuing to track it, and hopefully it doesn't tighten up again and we continue this weakening trend. So we'll have much more on this tornado warning storm coming up after the break. All right.
Yeah, we still are on, for those of you watching us here on Facebook Live, we're on commercial break over the air. But in the meantime, Joe, your mic will stay on. Roll is asking Joe DiCarlo in Stamford, what is the situation for them over the next 45 minutes?
Let me take one. I'm sorry, Samantha. Sorry, we're on Facebook Live. One quick. Hold on one second.
So you're hearing Joe's voice. He's in the newsroom at his monitor trying to regroup on the radar, but he will come back here in studio and join us in just a moment. Again, if you're just joining us on Facebook Live, continue the conversation with us at 325-655-6006. We will stay with you as long as we need. That warning is, of course, extended till 10 p.m., so we'll stay with you for all of the coverage as long as you may need us. Certainly, Joe DiCarlo mentioning anything north of I-20, northwest of I-20, the storms are shifting and moving, so certainly take precautions up in the big country. Joe, if you're settled at the desk.
Yes. Sorry about that, Tim.
No worries.
A lot going on. Stamford. So looking at Stamford, it is moving away from you. Tornado warning is to your south. There is still a lot of activity moving into you. Heavy rainfall right now. No severe weather imminent in the Stamford area, so that's some good news. The tornado warning is south of you and will remain south of you as well.
Okay, so we're just about 10 seconds here, headed back on the air on Fox West Texas. Just about 5 seconds out, we'll regroup. Welcome back, everyone, to Fox West Texas Live at 9. We continuing the storm coverage, keeping you weather aware here. Meteorologist Joe DiCarlo back in the studio. Joe, it's important to note we're going to keep this thing going. It's till 10 o'clock, the warning. We'll stay here on air and on Facebook at least till 10:05, 10:10, past the hour or so. But what are the latest developments here in the last few minutes? Yeah, nothing has quite changed the last few minutes, which is good. We've continued to see that rotation part of the storm. On weekend, we had a question about Stamford. Stamford is north of Abilene. Just some rain headed into the Stamford area. The tornado warning is south of you. It's in Jones County here. So the main concern area continues to be Holly as this continues to push on off to the northeast, about to come over Route 277. So we continue to jump back over to the velocity signature here, which is continuing to be good news. We're not seeing tight rotation, but the rotation part of the storm that was showing
a greater rotation back off to the south in southwestern Jones County. It's now moving right into Hawley right now. So rotation is right over the city of Hawley. If you're in Hawley, make sure to continue to practice that tornado precaution right now into your room, away from windows. It is right over the city right now. It will push on through over the next 5 minutes, and then it will push off to the east and northeast of you. So I'm not seeing any reports right now. If you are in Hawley, text us. We had somebody text in from Hawley. Give us an update of what you are seeing. It is right over, the rotation part of the storm is right over you, but it is not a tight rotation, which is suggesting there is not a tornado ongoing right now, but continue to stay in your tornado safe area for at least another 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure this pushes east of you before you come out of your safe place right now. So continue to practice that tornado precaution in Hawley for the time being. So Anson, the tornado warned part of it is off to your south. It is going to remain off to your south. So Hawley, and that's going to head up towards the Nugent area. We will see if this is extended past 10 o'clock. The tornado warning right now goes until 10 o'clock. That's only for about another 9 minutes or so. This may be it for the tornado warning. We'll have to see what the Weather Service decides to do with the cell, but we're not really seeing that rotation like we saw about 30 minutes ago. So that's good news there. It is going to head towards Nugent, and even if it's not tornado warned, it's still a strong storm. It could still have the hail that we've seen, especially with this storm headed into Hawley. It has completely weakened with the hail core, but small hail cannot be ruled out with that cell. And then we have some pretty good hail ongoing further off to the northeast as well. So let me move over to that and see if we can see more on this storm up a little bit further off to the northeast towards Albany, headed into Throckmorton here. These are pretty strong winds starting to bow out here. That happens a lot when you see that push of that strong wind. So pretty strong winds. I would not underestimate 60-mile-an-hour winds with this, headed right along Route 283 now between Throckmorton and Albany. So pushing off to the east towards Woodson as well. Strong storm, not a tornado warned storm, but once again, interior room, away from windows. Definitely don't want to be in near a window or outside when any of this blows on through. So good news. Once again, let's go back real quick to see that velocity signature. It's moving on me here. I got to move the camera, but it is now right over Hawley, now moving a little bit off to the northeast of Hawley. So that's some good news. Still, if you're in Hawley, maintain that tornado precaution for another 5 minutes or so, and then this threat is going to be moving out of your area. So that's some good news. Tim, we're not seeing that tight rotation, but like we've been saying, you got to just take it easy, go in an interior room, don't get on the roads, be smart.
I think that's a cool look there, Joe, behind you, the satellite radar. It shows you in real time how quickly it's moving.
Yeah.
Just, 3-4 minutes ago before the break, it was almost completely over or to the west of Hawley. Now it's almost shifting and looks almost to the northeast. So it just shows you how quickly something can come and go. As quickly as you can tell them is how quick it can come through their area.
Yeah, it's moving at about 35 miles an hour. So about the amount of speed that you drive on a normal road around here. A lot of roads here in San Angelo, up in Abilene, everywhere across West Texas, 35 miles an hour. It's a normal driving speed through town. So it's moving. You can get through a smaller town like Hawley within about 2 or 3 minutes. And that's how long it takes between when the storm moves in and when the storm moves out.
And now, you know how you always heard the rumor it gets real silent and quiet before a storm comes. It's almost that eerie feeling. We're getting texts from Roel in Stamford again. It got very quiet. Now that wind and heavy rain is picking up in the Stamford area just about 2 minutes ago, Joe.
Yeah, everybody north of Interstate 20 is under the gun for that strong storm. At Stamford, we've been saying we're not under a tornado warning. We're not seeing any rotation near you. That's some good news, but it doesn't mean you're out of the woods. You're still dealing with that heavy rainfall. Lightning can be just as dangerous as hail and a tornado as well. So just stay inside, away from those windows, and just ride it out.
Just by looking at the numbers there, it was from 4,722 to 3,515 residents overall that are under this warning. So it is slowly going down as time goes on. As mentioned, this is extended till 10, and we'll stay here on air past the about 5 or 10 past the hour to see this thing through. Joe, the way it looks, what does the extension look, that time period? Do you think it's going to go through 10 o'clock?
Let me move back to the radar here. You see on that shot, you see 3 different warnings here. It's not, the Weather Service has cut it down. This was their original warning that included Northwest Abilene. It was a big box, and then it's gotten slowly smaller, as you can see where the rotation is. So it's now this small little box here in Hawley, only for another 5 minutes. That is suggesting to me that they're going to let this expire and not continue it. This could change, obviously, in the next 5 minutes. We'll watch it, but it's weakened enough that I don't think we're going to see it extended. We may see another severe thunderstorm warning extended with this, but it's expiring in 5 minutes, and unless they extend this, that's it for the tornado warning. So let's hope this weakening trend continues, and we can say goodbye to this. But we'll still have to watch this storm. It could always recycle, but it's losing a lot of its intensity, a lot of the signatures it had earlier, especially when it was down by Sweetwater. It no longer has.
I think we have to keep showing some support here down to the Concho Valley as well. They're asking, it just shows you how important rain is here in West Texas, Joe. We don't want to see some of those severe weather storms, but precipitation nonetheless would be nice.
Yeah, let's jump back over to radar real quick again, show you a full view across West Texas. So we've been talking about it. Along and north of Interstate 20, that's where the activity is, and that's where all the severe weather is at the moment. Still an unstable air mass. We'll watch it south of Interstate 20, but we're quiet. San Angelo, we've been quiet all afternoon. Brady Junction, Comanche, pretty much everybody that lives south of Interstate 20. We haven't seen much here in the Concho Valley. There is one stray shower, which is what we want. We want showers. We don't want the hailstorms. We don't want the tornadic thunderstorms as well. There's one shower by Ozona. This is pushing off to the northeast. It's weak. It's trying to head towards San Angelo. I think this particular cell is going to stay to the south. It may lose its intensity, so we're not really seeing it south of Interstate 20 right now. We are watching this batch here, though, towards Midland, Odessa. This is all going to push towards the same areas that already saw some of that bad weather here. So Colorado City towards Sweetwater, you see the severe thunderstorm warning here in Mitchell County here. So more thunderstorms are developing further west, but this is all trending in this general direction. But if anything changes, we'll obviously be on Facebook Live. We'll keep you updated here in the Concho Valley, but most of the activity and what we think is going to continue here is mainly north of Interstate 20.
We'll continue to keep this thing going. Again, that is warning is until 10 o'clock. We'll stay here on air and on Facebook Live at least 5 or 10 past the hour. Keep those texts coming in at 325-655-6006. And be sure to download that Fox West Texas mobile app to stay weather aware and stay with us here on Facebook Live. So we'll take a break here on air and we'll continue the conversation on Facebook Live. All right, back in here, Joe, in studio. Take a quick break. You do what you have to do in studio or in the newsroom to say at least you get your radar and everything together. But keep those comments coming in. We've received quite a few messages as well, Joe, as his microphone is still on. You'll hear the voice from up above.
Yeah, continue to just ask him away, Tim, if you see any comments, any reports.
Sure.
Let me know. I'll get the radar organized. Take a look at what the National Weather Service is saying about these particular storms. And I'll just keep you updated as you talk.
Sounds good. San Angelo, people asking, of course, precipitation weather storms here. As Joe mentioned, everything north of I-20 at the moment. There's a little cell down there in Ozona, but Joe thinks at least it'll carry south of the San Angelo or Concho Valley area, so nothing of concern there here in San Angelo, but everything still north of I-20 up into the big country. Holly, Joe mentioned, still stay in your tornado precaution areas, stay safe, and everything as it continues to move that Stanford area, Haskell, Throckmorton County. So Joe, as you can see, moving the monitor here as we speak from his desk. But as of now, Joe, it looks like 10 o'clock is still set in place.
It's still set in place. That storm has weakened a lot. I think it's going to be allowed to expire here. I've not seen an official report, but it's only in effect for about another 2 minutes. As you can see over the past 30 minutes, that cell has completely lost its touch, and it continues to weaken as it pushes on off to the northwest. The greater concern is further off to the east. We'll be right back. Hold on one second.
Welcome back, everyone, to Fox West Texas Live at 9. We are staying on air here 5 or 10 minutes past the hour until that warning expires. On Facebook Live, you'll see that your screen went black moments ago, just to transition here back onto air. Meteorologist Joe DiCarlo back here in studio. We are about a minute or so away, Joe, from this thing expiring. How does that look at the moment?
I think it is going to continue to expire. That tornado warning storm continues to weaken. It continues to lose its touch. So where the tornado warning is actually I'll step over to the other side of the screen here. Moving now east of Hawley and moving away from the Hawley area now. And you could see as over the past 30 minutes, this storm has really lost its intensity as it continues to push on off to the northeast. So that's some good news. I think the tornado warning, there we go. It's expired. It went off the screen right when I said it. So it's allowed to expire. That's some good news. We still have one, a newly developed storm here I want to mention here. This is further off to the west here. Scurry County up towards Mitchell County here was included in this. And now new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for another hour till 11 p.m. That's for Fisher and Nolan County. So Sweetwater, we were in the gun earlier. Now another severe thunderstorm warning in effect for this cell. It was reported here by emergency management in the city of Dunn. That's in Scurry County here of golf ball size hail at 9:52 p.m. So this is in southern Scurry County. So upwards of golf balls can be likely with this cell, especially where you see these purples here. That's the hail core of the storm right along Scurry and northern Mitchell County here, riding the county line. That's going to push eastward towards Capitola and Sweetwater and Roscoe as well. So may maintain just a little bit north of Interstate 20 here, but that's the new cell. Good news though, Tim, for the first time in an hour, a little bit over an hour actually, there is no tornado warning in our area at the time being. So we want it to stay like that. And we're happy that expired.
Yeah, that worked out perfectly. Sometimes in live TV, it works in your favor. Some of the storms slowly dissipating away. And of course, that warning shut off. You saw it go from red to yellow right behind you in live time. So all good news, Joe.
Yes, definitely good news. So hopefully we don't see any more tornado warnings. The threat's still there. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect till 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. mainly along in north of Interstate 20. But hey, we got to watch every single storm that develops. But good news, it has lost its intensity. And we're not seeing that tornado or that rotation right now.
Certainly good news. Fisher and Nolan County, as you mentioned, under that warning until 11. That is a severe thunderstorm. You will continue to monitor the situation on our Facebook page. You can stay weather aware on our Fox West Texas mobile app. Joe, before we sign off here on air, just what exactly are we looking toward headed into our Wednesday this week?
Yeah, so the next few hours we're watching, especially up in the big country, I've been mentioning that watch until 3 a.m. We will see a lull then after it loses some of its intensity over the next few hours. We'll see a lull tomorrow morning into the early afternoon. We'll probably most likely bring out some sunshine early in the afternoon tomorrow, and then kind of reload the gun pretty much, kind of get that energy going again. And we see more showers and severe weather once again likely in the evening hours, sunset especially tomorrow evening across West Texas. If you want rain in the big country, I know we didn't see, or the Concho Valley, we didn't see any activity today. We got another shot tomorrow, and this time it looks a little bit further off to the southeast. Tomorrow evening, I think we'll be, right about this time, I think we're gonna be tracking those storms in our eastern areas, Junction, Brady, areas like that. So if you didn't pick up on the rain and the storms tonight, we got another chance tomorrow, so another day to be weather aware. It's
severe weather season in West Texas, so hey, let's do it again tomorrow.
We're in the
safely.
Heart of it. Yes, safely. And when you send any photos, any reports, do it in a safe manner. Don't want to get yourself hurt.
That'll do it for us tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, stay safe if you're north of I-20 into the big country. Joe will continue to monitor the situation on our Facebook page. He'll be on Facebook Live. Download that app, Fox West Texas mobile app, to stay weather aware and keep those texts coming in at 325-655-6006. Joe and I will see you back here tomorrow night at 6 and 9. Have a good night.
Have a great night. We're off. Are we still live on Facebook? Okay, we're still live on Facebook. Let me just do a quick update here before we go off Facebook for a little bit. Let me show you exactly what we're looking at real quick. Let me walk over to my desk and give you the latest update here on Facebook. But you see us talking the last little while here. We're still tracking the storm, especially along the north of Interstate 20. To come over to the desk, though, there is some activity a little bit further off to the south, out of our viewing area, north of Fort Stockton, between Fort Stockton and Midland. Some of this activity, once it gets pushing off to the northeast, But if you want some of this activity a little bit further off to the south of Interstate 20, this is what we're going to have to watch towards Crane over the next hour or so. These storms starting to strengthen up a little bit. Further off to the north, though, that tornado warning once again has expired. That storm has completely weakened as it moved past Hawley and continues to push off towards Louders here. Some light, moderate rainfall here, but that has really lost its touch. There's a severe thunderstorm warning, for Haskell and Throckmorton counties. That's until 10:30 p.m. It's moving out of Haskell County. It's in Throckmorton County now, right along Route 183 here from Throckmorton, headed into Woodson and towards Prophet out of our area. So that's the severe thunderstorm warning. And then once again, this activity in Scurry, Mitchell, Fisher, and Nolan counties, north of Sweetwater up towards Capitola, and Roby, some quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds as well. So good news, no tornado warning ongoing, but still some pretty good activity up in the big country, and hopefully we can continue seeing this activity start to diminish a little bit, especially that tornado warning, and we'll track any of the things developing off to the southwest. So I'll let you go a little bit. We are continuing to track the latest information here on Fox West Texas. Stay with our Fox West Texas Facebook page. We will keep you weather aware and walk you through the storm. Once again, any reports, send it to us, comment. I'll try to get to them a little bit later on. And also text us 325-655-6000.